This model is not a real person. Someone had noticed that The Iconic, which is a really big, really reputable Australian retailer, had a label that was using AI models. So I bought the dress. Oh, all right. It's a shiny one. Yep, it's exactly the same color, and it does have the lace detailing. Pretty pleasantly surprised by how this dress has turned out. It does look how I would expect, and it's got sticky stuff to keep your boobs in. That's good. All right, should I try this? This is not my usual style. And I can't breathe, and I can't bend over. The AI model was 5'11", is the description on the Iconic's website. And so I looked at her and thought, this dress looks really short, but she's 5'11". That's 4 inches taller than I am. So it's not gonna be quite as short on me. I was wrong. This is extremely short. So AI has been creeping into fashion for quite a while, and I've been monitoring what's been happening with great interest. Erin Duggan is a co-founder of Botica, an AI model generator. They've worked with big fashion retailers like Perry Ellis and Forever 21.
So we give brands the option to use a variety of different models, different studios, different poses and scenarios. We kind of craft each model, sculpt them if you like, within our team. So we have a number of designers, and they work kind of on each and every model individually. And so, we can kind of achieve a high diversity and pretty much have something for every brand and shopper. We now have a very rich data set that we can use legally and safely for training our AI models. But the most important part is that none of this data actually is around human faces. So all of this is just for the clothing.
The Model Alliance is a New York-based non-profit organisation that advances workers' rights in the fashion industry.
Historically, the fashion industry has been a backwater for workers' rights. That is not new.
Its founder, Sarah Ziff, has been watching the growth of AI very closely.
Workers in our industry have long faced challenges over controlling the use of their image, and AI is exacerbating that. When your body is your business, unauthorized use of your image is a violation of your rights.
Another big brand that's caused a splash and, a pretty significant controversy for their use of AI is Guess, the American kind of handbag denim label that is really famous for its, and this is what they're called, I realize it's everyday sexism, but I'm just gonna say it, for their Guess girls. Being selected to be a Guess girl, a Guess model, has always been seen as a really big sign that you have made it, that you are a mainstream supermodel. This model is not a real person. The reason why this ad was so particularly controversial is not just because she's not real, and not just because this disclosure is very small on AI, right there, and it's because it appeared in American Vogue. Now, American Vogue say that this wasn't an editorial decision, the ads were purchased, but when you see how tiny that disclosure is, when you bind a magazine, you have a fold in it, and this would have been just inside the fold. What is really unsettling about this fake model is that she looks exactly like a combination of two real Guess models. She looks a hell of a lot like Kate Upton, and she looks quite a lot like Anna Nicole Smith. In the case of Anna Nicole Smith, it's sort of a creepy digital resurrection because Anna Nicole Smith died in 2007. But in the case of Kate Upton, a former Guess girl, it's just perplexing because Kate Upton is still a really successful model. She is still out there, she is still working. If you wanted someone who looked pretty much exactly like Kate Upton, why not just hire Kate Upton?
I think as a model, your image is your entire livelihood, so I'd definitely be quite cautious in handing over my image to someone else.
So H&M have taken a really interesting approach to their use of AI. They made a big announcement last year that they were going to partner with real fashion models to create digital twins of them. So the digital twin could be an AI model who would work when the model was not working, would be able to be used for all sorts of different photo shoots, and the model would still own the rights to her digital twins. H&M thought that this was a sort of more ethical approach to the use of AI in fashion imagery. I have some sympathy for why you would, as long as it actually feels like an accurate description of the clothes. I have some sympathy for why you would use AI to make all of the e-com shots, because it is really tedious doing an e-com shoot. You have to put on hundreds and hundreds of dresses. It's boring for the photographer. It's boring for the stylist. It's really boring for the model. I have a friend who used to model, and when she did e-com shoots, would occasionally end up with like chafing wounds from all of the clothes she had to put on and off throughout the day. So no one really likes the work, but it is like pretty reasonably paid.
I'd want a lot of autonomy in the decision-making process, and I definitely want to make sure that I was being compensated fairly. But in saying that, I do think that we're undercutting a lot of the other creatives that would be involved in a more traditional shooting process. The hair and makeup artist, the stylist, the photographers, the digis. I want to know how they're being compensated, or how their work is being incorporated into that as well.
Jeans West, which was a big Australian retailer that went into receivership a while ago and shut down its stores. They had a revival, and one of the things that they put out was this video. And the AI prompt came out in the backing track that went, "A chill Australian cafe
with relaxed indie folk vibes."
Obsessed. Anyway, both the women were wearing this sort of multi-paneled denim miniskirt. So I went onto the Jeans West website and I bought that too. I used to wear Jeans West back when I was in my Canberra shopping mall days as a teen. All right, okay, so it is a multi-panel denim skirt. So this you can see is actually like a really beautiful sky blue shade, whereas this is a much more sort of faded color. So already I can kind of see that there's a bit of confusion around what the shape of this skirt is going to be, because on this model, it is a kind of more dramatic A-line. It comes out to here on her, but on this model, it is much smaller. It's a much closer fit. So it's pretty clear that this real skirt and these AI skirts are not exactly the same skirt, even though the pattern is quite similar. Another fairly glaring issue is, see how this skirt has pockets? Where are the pockets?